So far in our toy photography project, you have worked on changing backgrounds with AI. You should be done now with this slide where you have your original photo and then two different versions of that photo with two different backgrounds. Today, we're not only going to use AI to change a background, we're also going to learn how to take a picture of a person and shrink them down to interact with your toy. So if you go to our folder this week, you're going to see there's two Photoshop lessons, Hannah and the Blue Box and Erasing Objects. For the first one, we need to get a picture of my former student Hannah and save that to your downloads. We also need the one that you've worked with before called Blur Background. And then while we're here, we might as well get the one for Erasing Objects of the old yearbook staff. We're going to save all of those under your downloads, and then we're going to come over here and open them up in Photoshop. To open multiple things at one time, I hold down my control key and I click on all three, and then we're going to edit the pictures. I'll show you what the Superman one is later. Let's start with the one of Hannah. We're going to first cut her out. Do that by doing select subject. If you don't see that menu down at the bottom, to get it, you go to Window, Contextual Taskbar, but it was there. Now we're going to cut her out. Normally we would have to, use the magic wand tool to maybe clean up some of the area, but I think it did a really good job here of selecting her. So we're just going to go straight to Edit Cut and make sure nothing was missing. Nope, we have it all. We're going to paste her onto this by going to Edit Paste. You can also use the shortcut Control V. We're going to use the Move tool, which is the top tool on your toolbar. Move tool allows us to place her anywhere in the screen as well as some other things. First, we need to shrink her down. We're going to work with Edit Transform today. Let's start with Scale. If you hold down your Shift key on your keyboard, it'll keep it proportional. So I'm holding down Shift while I'm making her smaller. The goal is to get her inside of this little blue box of water that the student is using, approximately about that big. When you're happy, click the check mark. I can move her about here. I want to slightly turn her to the side. To do that, you go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. When I have that choice and I move my mouse close to that layer on the image, my mouse turns to this little left and right arrow. I can just tilt this to the right now. I click and hold, and I want her to get a little angled about that much. Now I could just, put her in the box like that, but I kind of want her even tucked in there even more. And the beauty of working with layers is anything I do to this layer is not going to damage the background at all. So I'm going to take my eraser tool, which is over here on the toolbar. If you don't see it, click and hold the one under the paintbrush down, choose eraser tool. And if you want to, you can zoom in. There's many ways to zoom in. My favorite though is to do Control +++. Zoom in a little bit, and I want to, oops, I got a little too much there. I want to erase her bottom half, and because I'm on layer 1, it only affects layer 1. And I'm going to carefully get her right across that ledge of the box. And you can use different eraser sizes, whatever you're comfortable with. And now Control-0 puts it in the big screen. Hannah is hanging out in that blue box. When you go to File, Save a Copy, make sure here at the bottom, because we're working with layers and sometimes this will convert to a PSD, a Photoshop document, always choose the first JPEG. Once you're finished, you're going to call this one Done, and that's the one you'll turn in for Hannah in the blue box. And then for the other one, I want you to see how you can erase an object. This is a photo of a very old yearbook staff, and we have this kind of annoying red fire alarm over here. I want to get rid of it. We're going to use what's called the Clone Stamp tool today. If you don't see it, click and hold down. We're going to use Clone Stamp tool. And I know it's something you can't see in the video, but I need to hold down the Alt key. And notice when I press the Alt key, my mouse changes. This is so I can copy what I want to paste. I want to put my mouse up here on an upper brick, and while I hold down the Alt key, click. Basically, we're made a copy of that. And now when I hold my mouse and I press down and I start painting over this, can you see that little plus symbol right there? What's happening is wherever I had clicked earlier, it is copying and pasting this stuff up here where that little plus is and pasting it on there. Now, I know this isn't perfect. If I wanted to, I can alt click again and paste in a perfect line for that brick. I can alt click again and get even more brick there. And I'm just trying to blend it. The goal is to try and just make that red fire alarm disappear, even if it's not perfect. Why is this important in toy photography? That's why I pulled up this one. Yes, we could select subject and change the background on Superman. But sometimes the figures are placed on these stands, and you can't do that because when you select subject, it's going to select the stand as well. So they use this tool to erase that stand. They can blend it, and they would spend way more time than I'm spending right now getting rid of that. And the clone stamp tool will make it as if the stand isn't even there. So that's why we are learning about that one. So you need to go back to Schoology, and you need to turn in the Hannah in the Blue Box and then the erasing objects one here, and then continue to work on your assignment. Today you're going to shrink down your own photo of a person onto a different toy that you photographed, as well as change the background on that.